So, Kurt, here at Cool Stuff Games, Jacksonville, you just finished the OTS. You got top 4. What'd you play and how's your experience?
I played Plunder Patrol. Honestly, pretty great experience. I hadn't played in a while, and this is kind of my pet deck, so I figured with that break, I'll just play this and really kind of, go for it. And it ended up working out today, so pretty happy.
Insane. I know we got a couple feature matches coming up on the channel with you too. You did some great things with this deck. We're going to get into the profile. Do you have any shout outs you want to give?
Shout out, of course, first and foremost, my brother, Conrad, right there. Helped me with my deck list and, everything else last night. And then I want to shout out a couple other guys, my main group, Gerald, Bailey, Kevin, Damien. Shout out to you guys. And yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. Let's get into it and see what you played.
Oh, and Mike, too.
All right.
Alrighty. So, starting with the Plunder stuff, I mean, in my opinion, it's all pretty standard. You got 3 gold in here. It's kind of like your 1-card starter. It's kind of a pseudo starter. In more hands that are kind of bricky, you can just use that to make a 1-card Blackbeard. 3 Whitebeard. Again, one of the best main deck ones. You can float into any other Plunder, and it being a tuner opens up a lot of your plays. 3 Bluebeard. This is kind of your extender. It helps you make, along with something like Whitebeard, kind of helps you make your generic extra deck things, which I'll get into later. Helps you make generic synchros and Xyz, and its graveyard effect comes up a lot because I do a lot of discarding, and you want to get the Plunders in your hand. And then 1 Redbeard. This is kind of the one that people go back and forth on. I usually only play 1. You don't want to draw it. You just want to kind of float into it off of Whitebeard, and then use its tag out effect to go into other extra deck monsters. And then 3 Black Eyes. I love this card. This card has bailed me out of so many bad situations, being able to recycle, summon itself back, and then normal summon another. This card is just a great extender, but also helps your resource game, which helped me in a lot of my games. That's it for the Plunder monsters. Gonna go into the hand traps. Mostly pretty basic. 3 Ash. I mean, that's pretty standard to me. I mean, I don't really have to explain that. 2 Veiler. Veiler didn't come up all that much, but when it did, it felt very good. I mean, drawing something off Blackbeard and hitting a Veiler is a great rip. If it's not, a Plunder monster. This, I have to shout out Conrad again as well. I played 2 Phantasme in the main deck when this card came up, and it didn't very much. It was amazing. Running into a lot of SP, they would try to chain and target stuff, and Phantasme, has a targeting protection. It's a big body, and it draws into your deck too. You get the extra dig for Plunder cards, which playing the Adventure variant, which I'll show that as well, that helps. That you really need to dig to get those Plunder names. So this card was huge when I came up. I think I'd consider maybe bumping it 1 more and playing 3, maybe in the side. I don't know, but it was a great card either way. It was awesome all day. So, and then, like I said, the adventure stuff, just the 3 Enchantress and the 1 Griffin. I didn't actually play Illegal Knight. I know a lot of Plunder players like to play it to give your opponent an attribute, but I feel like the meta right now has a lot of good attribute matchups. I mean, you have things like Unchained gives you a lot of Dark and Fire, same with Rescue Ace when they go into their extra deck. So I felt like this is really all you needed from the adventure engine. And then last 3 monsters, Fenrir. I mean, this card explains itself. It thins the deck for me, it puts pressure on the board, it's non-destruction removal for things like Unchained, and it's just a great card all around. It's a great tech to splash in here. So that's all the monsters. We'll get into the spells. For Plunder stuff, really just the 3 Shipyard, and then sort of the other pseudo Plunder name, the 1 Terraforming, just to search it out. This kind of did run me into Droll once, which hurt a lot, so I might consider taking that out, but it's good to have just another Plunder name basically available. The 3 right, and then the 1 Fateful and the 1 Dracoback. This is just your standard adventure engine, really nothing else to say about that. What is your 2 Tactics. This card felt okay. There were a lot of times where I feel like I'd rather have something else, so maybe go into the side in the future, but still a good card. I mean, it's great going first when you get hand trapped, great going second for breaking boards or, you know, looking at the people's hands. So overall, not too bad. And then the one Foolish Burial, this is just basically another copy of Enchantress. And the last 3 cards to the main deck, 3 Imperm. Didn't see any thrusts or really that much tactics, but this is kind of what that was in there for, to not trigger those things. But again, kind of explains itself when it comes up. It's great. But yeah, that's sort of it for the main deck.
Awesome. For the extra deck?
Sure. Alrighty. So for the extra deck, 3 Blackbeard. This is the heart and soul of the deck. If Blackbeard goes, the deck goes, and you try to do everything you can to make sure that this, you know, to make sure this goes off. Because when it does, that's when the snowball starts going, and that's when this deck really does well. 2 Mark. You know, it's a target banish. Non-destruction removal, like I said, with Fenrir is really good right now with Unchained, probably being, you know, one of the best decks, one of the most represented, so this card is amazing. 2 lists. This is a Monster Negate. Again, just amazing interaction. Going first, being able to set up with Yord later, get the token, get this already going. I mean, you can already set this up and you don't have to wait on your opponent now. 2 Bran. Some people run this at 1. I felt like I needed it to help push for game. I mean, this boosts your other plunders by 500. And along with like the field spell, you can put a lot of pressure on the board, and you can get damaged quick. So I liked having 2 of them. Plus, kind of, I played a lot of Labyrinth here. That was kind of part of it. Was like, I'll get 2 Brand in there for Labyrinth to help, you know, banish the big welcomes and those sorts of things. So it was kind of like a locals thing. Didn't actually run into that today, but still felt pretty good. And then the 1 Yord. You used to play this at 2 with Kashtira running around. Now you don't really need more than 1 because it returns itself to the extra deck. So this card is amazing. Being able to give your opponent a token, turn on your Blackbeard at first is just awesome. Like your deck can go and you don't have to wait on your opponent anymore. So that's it for probably what I consider mostly standard Plunder extra deck. Now for like the generic stuff. Almirage, this is there for your, you know, you open your Golden Hair like I was talking about. That helps you get your 1 card Blackbeard. Unicorn and Access Code didn't actually make these a single time today. It never really came up. A lot of when I got the ball rolling was when I was already Plunder locked with things like Whitebeard or Ravenwing, or Black Eyes, excuse me, and these kind of never came up. So I don't know, I think I still keep them in just in case, but they didn't really come up at all today. And then for a generic Synchro, we have Dragite. This card won me a couple of games today, very specifically in my top 8 match against Runic Stun. Being able to drop this on the board, you have a guaranteed spell trap negate. All the plunders are waters in the grave, so this card is amazing. And I do have a little bit where I do play a spoiler Nibiru in the side. There are times where you can hit that first effect and you can bounce some cards back, so that comes up a couple times. And then the last extra card, Abyss Dweller, was really there for Unchained. Never really came up because I didn't really need it all that much, but I'd still probably keep it in there for this meta. There's a lot of graveyard stuff going around, so great card, but never really came up for me today.
Awesome. And for the side deck?
Going to the side deck, I kind of spoiled this earlier, but Nibiru, I mean, this explains itself, you know, for some things that combo decks that can go unchecked, or something like Unchained. I know they can play through it, but being able to remove stuff without destroying it, again, kind of not so much punishes them, but kind of makes their plays a little awkward, but it definitely helps in other rogue stuff as well. I know we have a lot of stuff running around, so this is kind of there for that. 3 Droll. This card is pretty good. I never really had it today myself. I had it activated against me a couple times. The Adventure Engine searches a lot, and having this hit against me hurt a lot. But this card is just, I think, too good not to play right now. I don't know if I would necessarily main it, but there's a lot of matchups where this is really crucial, and I like having it there in my side, for just in case. That's it for the monsters in this side. Go for spells. 3 Cosmic Cyclone. This card is very good. With the Runic Stun matchup, it helped me big time. They're playing a lot of Floodgates, so I was able to chain things, or banish things like Goes and Match, or, you know, Rivalry came up, Tikaboo, those sorts of things. But unless the Runic Stun player banishes all 3 of your Cosmics, then you can't use it. That happened to me, so that didn't feel too great, but again, I would definitely keep this card in. It's just great utility for everything. 3 evenly matched. Again, with one of the things Plunder kind of struggles with is back row, and this is kind of what this is for. Just to break big boards of back row. The one runic stun player in top 8, he set 5 against me, or he set 4 and activated Dimensional Fissure against me. So this came in clutch to, you know, to be able to blow through those situations and get myself back in the game. But yeah. And then last one was Rivalry of Warlords. This card I saw a lot today, not just myself, but my opponents as well. I played a couple of Vanquished Souls players that were playing this, but they didn't realize like that doesn't really affect me. And also the Runic Stun player activated this against me, not knowing my whole deck is Fiends. So all the Plunder main decks, all the Plunder extra deck, all Fiends. And then he gave me a Lava Golem and tried to do that, and I just kept the Lava Golem because it's a Fiend. So that was pretty funny. That came up. Still lost that game, but you know, it happens. But this card was pretty good. I definitely play it because you can do the Yord block still. But yeah, that's about it. I had a really great day today, a lot better than I expected. So thanks for having me on here.
Of course. You got any changes you're planning on making?
I think like the Phantasme, like I said, might go up with, especially if an Unchained heavy meta and SP running around everywhere. I think that's probably one thing I would incorporate. And then honestly, I'd have to do more testing, but I think tweaking the Plunder ratio a little bit, maybe adding another 1 or 2 cards in there to guarantee Plunders in your hand to keep, you know, Blackbeard and the ships online. So that'd probably be about it.
Awesome. Well, again, congratulations on top 4.
Yeah, thanks, man.